I think it's what we saw actually in their breakout tournament. I think it was PMGC, if I'm not mistaken, right? In like a league stage, and we saw them have a breakout moment. We talked a lot about like the coaching staff behind the team and how quickly they were able to adapt day in and day out. But maybe I want to turn our attention towards another team hailing from the region S2G is known for, Turkey.
Ooh,
Fireflux. Yeah, because only one of the entire talent crew actually predicted Fireflux as being the team to win the main event.
What was it?
It was Blank over there.
Was Blank?
You did it.
Okay.
Hey, Fireflux, still a really strong team when it comes to macro, etc.
Yep.
But really where they stand out, I would say in a similar fashion to Alpha 7, is when they start to be aggressive.
Yes.
If they're in a good position and you're starting to push against them and it's 4v4, you're not going to win against Fireflux.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Again, we do apologize for the technical delays, but our third match of the day, which is our second Erangel, is kicking off right here, right now. Jordan Blank, get us in there.
Oh, I've been waiting for this one. Third match of the day, Blank. We're going from Georgia Pole down to Sosnovka military base on the plane path. We are in the game. It's happened. I can't believe it.
I'm in the match. That's right. I'm in ruins. I'm
in there?
chilling. I'm feeling good in the ruins itself. I feel like a ruin myself.
Wait, it's all right. I'm here for you.
I'm only joking. I have a seat. So that is a big flex from me, actually.
You've got a seat,
That's a big
dude.
flex.
You got a seat?
That is a big,
Oh my
big
God.
flex with the seat. So I'm feeling good. Yeah, I'm rested. I'm good to go. I'm hoping all the players are pretty rested as well. Fortunately, that momentum Empire's built up probably came to a screeching halt there. I'm hoping that they're probably still feeling very elated, very good about themselves, still looking for that third chicken dinner on the day to see if they can take it even further than the past. I am wondering if that will happen, and I very much would be pleased to see that come to bear. But already a lot of our teams dropping out. Your FaZe Clan down towards the south side of Georgia Pole, the Gladiators in North Georgia. Alpha 7 not... Whoa, actually they are. They're just on top of each other, and I cannot quite spot them out. In the meantime, you can spot yourself out. A nice little outfit coming up on the screen for the 2023 PMWI crate. That's available from July 15th through August 15th. However, keep your eyes on that, but also on the game at hand, where Alpha 7 are going to try and take it to task with Gladiators, but already one knock found over towards the Alpha 7 side, but Matic's gone.
He's already out of it very, very early into the game. The hot drop in North George. I was expecting to see this from what we saw in the scrims.
Of course you
and
were.
if you were paying attention to the PUBG Mobile Esports Center, the milestone events there, maybe you would have caught those scrims as well. But we have seen this drop come through in the first of the scrims that we had yesterday on the Erangel. Alpha 7 won that time as well, cleanly. It is important to say as well. All four of them stayed alive, and they swept Gladiators all the way out of the match. So far, they have a good record in North George. And we're looking for more from this team, from Alpha 7. So far, they haven't shown us what they are capable of, and we know they are capable of it.
Mazexis, Des proclaimed them as the worst NA team ever,
Wow.
but they have destroyed one of the players from the Infinity already, doing fairly good for themselves. You know, this is what they needed. They needed a little bit of doubt from the desk, so they could prove them wrong. Already that Molotov comes through, though, does quite a little bit of damage to Hax. He'll have to move out of the way. That's some quick thinking. Never mind. Thinking slowly will lead to that kind of situation where you run back into the bullets.
Yeah, it's so you can outthink players, you know, maybe, but very hard to outthink a bullet. It's very hard
Never
to
mind.
outthink a shell for Bensu
So
as
sorry.
well. You've really stuffed them up here. And Mazexis maintain their title.
Oh, dear me. Peralta's out. This is Brooklyn 0-0. It's not looking good for us today. Gladiators still holding on over in North George. Alpha 7 getting closer and closer, dropping these smokes in, eliminating those sightlines as they move through the buildings closer towards Gladiators. That 4v3, that is the kind of scenario that is going to put you in good stead. And already you can take a quick look at what Gladiators running with. They have pretty poor kit on side, and Alpha 7 looking to sweep. Look at that, a lot of shotguns coming through from Alpha 7. I think that was 2 DBSs that I peeked over on that side of the map.
I mean, Mafioso's got that auto shotty as well.
Budget DBS.
Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty effective at close range if you get up close and personal. Doesn't matter where that shell comes from. Still going to shred you, especially on the limited armor that Gladiators have been able to find. Look at a little bit more Sadiators than Gladiators right now.
Yeah, limited armor by that we just mean none, essentially. So these guys are wrapping bandages around themselves as much as possible to try and create a thickened cloth barrier.
It doesn't work like that. Nobody's told them.
Have they not?
No.
No one told them about the mummy strap?
No.
Well, that's unfortunate. Well, we'll keep that one to ourselves for the time being. And you guys, obviously, don't try that at home. Just get a vest. It's way better. Even level 1 vest.
And a pan.
And a pan. Pan level 4 armor, as we all know. S2G did move down from the northwest side in box compound. They're heading towards Rozhok just to regroup the rest of the team. That's a smart play as well. They picked up the key vehicles in that area. So we'll be slightly scuffing the performance coming through from both Alpha 7 and Gladiators, whoever makes it out of that situation alive.
Ferrari getting the window peaks. And the shotgun shells as well with the pump action. Bensu with a double barrel. Yeah, but Zexus did just get torn asunder there by Infinity.
Yeah, the desk were right.
Yeah.
Basically.
7 was very right.
I tried to make a funny, and I became the funny, unfortunately.
You've always been funny.
Thank you. That's really nice of you. I appreciate that. Anyway, back to the game. D plus Kia over towards the eastern side of Rozhok. You know, I disagreed with the desk comments on DRS, and I'm a bit worried about this because every time I disagree with the desk so far, it's come back to haunt me. But I will disagree with them again. Just because I know that DRS is a passive team, but if that works out for them, that's fine. I somewhat am on board with what Seven was saying about the aggressiveness that needs to come through. I do think they come out a lot of games with very few eliminations, but they're very good at like finding little areas to get in towards the circle, maneuvering their way around teams, and finding those spots of cover to play in. Now, I will disagree completely with that last game, saying that they were not aggressive enough to get down the hill. I think it was Tony K's greediness and the rest of the team, like Schweppes moving up, that forced them into a position where they were setting up to crash, right? That's exactly what they were doing. They're dropping the smokes, and immediately what Vampire do is like, we're going to stop you in your tracks. We're dropping down the caltrops. You can't go any further, dropping the nades through, which delayed them long enough for a situation where the two guys, as backstops in the building, it was impossible to push down towards them. So I think DRS, it was less of a situation where they needed to be more aggressive and more of a situation you got outplayed.
Yeah, it was a tricky spot either way, really. It's hard to navigate that sort of thing. And they got deep into the game as well, playing second place. That's a good result, pretty much no matter what. Vampire, they've had the best results so far, undeniably, with 2 first-place finishes, 2 chicken dinners in 2 matches. Pretty hard to top that. 7 eliminations on the first one, a little bit quieter on Sandhawk, but 13 on Erangel. It's a really, really solid total coming through. 2020 scoreline. Perfect.
It is a perfect 2020, which is always nice to see. For them, hindsight is not 2020. They're always looking forward because they still did well at PMWI and they're going to do well again over at the second PMWI. I'm pretty excited to see what they can do here in this match. Oh, sorry, I've been delivered sandwiches. I know that sounds crazy, but it is what just happened.
I'm trying to keep it together.
Yeah, I know you are. I know you are.
It's not going well. Oh,
but
dear.
Man, the guy. Look, I'll tell you right now, the people here at the event, they're awesome.
Absolutely.
They're awesome. I just did not expect sandwich to desk delivery. That was crazy.
I've never seen that.
That was outrageous.
I love it. I love it. That's the best rotation I've seen all tournament.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Hard start shift. Let's look at that because it's cut the. Let's pay attention to the game because we got that cuts out the river, which is a major feature for a lot of teams in terms of their decisions on rotations. Right? Are you going to hedge your bets, stay a little bit north? No, you can't now. You are going to have to move south. Stop smiling at me like that.
I'm sorry.
You hungry git?
I don't know why. I've got ages, mate.
You have got so long.
They smell good. I'm going to have to move them away. My nostrils, they're my own enemy. This is not good. Anyway, looking towards the map again, because I'm trying to get away from what's in front of me other than what's on the monitor. So FaZe, R8 off in the distance. These guys are all getting into fairly decent positions. I think I8's already found themselves a decent spot down towards that south side on yellows. This is a strong spot to be in. Really covers your backside too towards your 6 because Sosnovka, obviously a little tiny bits in it, but it's unlikely for I8 to come into any contact with teams from that area. On the other hand, R8 is taking a fight with Vampire. Now, this team is not one to be trifled with, as Stoned actually already does the work for Tony K. Look at these guys. They're competing to see who can get the most of limbs.
I mean, if you can't, if no one else in the lobby is competing against you, compete against your own team. Why not? Just have a go. Have a bit of fun with it. I mean, it's a little bit early days to call it for Vampire, but they are in a very good spot. On this hillside, Vampire, southwest side of the urban environment there, in the Chinky in the middle of it. They've got a good spot.
Don't you curse
No, I
them.
don't do curses. That's Max and that's you.
That's true. I have rituals. They require a sandwich sacrifice.
I've already had to move them away from you.
I know, I'm a fiend. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Looking at this circle, though, in particular, I think the major highlights, obviously, are Pachinki. There's the church as well. Nice high ground going on there. A lot of this area down towards that southwest side covered in fields, so a bit difficult to make your way through that location. I think a lot of teams will be just looking out for these little divots, these areas around the map where they can find some high ground to play around with to get that scouting done. Alpha 7 playing a slower playstyle this time around, as they were embroiled in combat with the gladiators, who were prodding and poking them with their tridents, which I'm sure have a better name. I know.
No, they are called tridents.
No. I'm pretty sure they have a different name in gladiator combat.
I can't recall it off the top of my head.
Gladiatorial combat. Sorry, I know you like to be correct, so I'm just trying to be on brand.
I mean.
Yeah, see, there it is. There it is. But yeah, so they were really very much taking up a lot of their time over on that northwest side. But Alpha 7 opted to go down towards that western side. I like this decision. As for, I think it's a little bit more acceptable for you to take the fielded crossing, trying to predict that these teams would not go for that position. However, it has moved further down towards the south. There are some compounds on the edges of the fields. So great. This is great news for Alpha 7. The Netman.
The Roman, I did just look this up, the Roman gladiator who uses, it is a trident, is the Retiarius. Yeah,
Retiarius.
Three-pronged. A Retiarius, which literally means Netman.
Yeah, in layman's terms, the Netman.
The Netman. He throws a net at you.
Yeah.
Can't get out of that.
The world's first original superhero.
And they do like to sort of throw those nets out, try and embroil these teams. Unfortunately, sometimes there are those knives that can cut loose from that net, the gladiators. And Alpha 7 showed us that it is very much possible to do so, with Matic being that loose thread.
Yeah, I think the issue that Gladiators came into here with Alpha 7 kind of forcing them down towards this eastern side of the map, particularly with that plane as well, there's going to be a lot of teams down here. So maybe Alpha 7 didn't confirm all the eliminations, but what they certainly did is they confirmed themselves a very easy rotate down towards this side of the circle and have crunched Gladiators into a pretty poor spot for them to be in. So I'm a little bit... I'm kind of wondering what Gladiator is going to do next, really, because there are so many teams to go through. And I am, again, in a little bit of awe of Alpha 7. They haven't really shown us massively what they're capable as of yet. Still getting some decent games, and there's definitely the individual performance there. But now, as for, in a fairly strong position, I want to see a really good game out of Alpha 7.
It is their opportunity to shine, for sure. That opening to strike with Vital-like confidence. Kitsune goes down again for Gladiators against Falcons on the southeast side, flushed away, which means Gladiators are now on 2, trying to play on this south side. They are surrounded, though, in their current position. Meku trying to make a breakthrough. Tixi left behind, a little bit in the dust, but Meku seems to have been able to get away for now. Bigatron in the meantime against DRS. Delta up close, but Alkev's shot through the window is good for one. It is traded off, though, as Gianti answers. It is very much back and forth between these two teams right now. Delta down and flushed, but 2 players knocked for Bigatron. Shut the door in the face of Killer, but the nade is still cooking. Drops it through the door, gets the flush out, hops in through the window. Doesn't have any resistance on the first push, but the nade is brilliant. And hang on a minute, that came from Gianti.
It's bad.
It is so unfortunate there, and Gianti now left wondering what he's done. Oh dear, Bigatron, stay alive, Gemfos Reservoir. That is unfortunate news. R8 now embroiled in their own combat, but Ikerd close it down.
Mate, I don't think Gianto was thinking, what has he done? I think probably thinking, where am I? He was spinning in 360,
What day
let
is it?
alone a 720. He had no clue what just happened. You, high man, closes the door in his face, says, we're not open for business, we're not taking any cold callers, and then turns the entire fight around. You know, he did not know what to do after Gante threw that grenade. I think he was just suffering from a case of, I feel bad right now.
What have I done?
Yeah. The guilt.
I have betrayed my
him.
own team. Oh well, he'll get over it. They have to for next game.
He will.
They want to have.
He's coming back.
If they want to have a good time, because you know, tied up in third place with some of the big dogs, you know, it's certainly still a good spot for them to be in. They'll have to pick up the pieces into the third of today's Erangels because they won't be playing this second one.
Yeah. It's
Vampire.
so unfortunate. I think DRS is a team that loves to get to the end game as far, and I think as soon as it's a case, because they have such good camaraderie on that team, and if you eliminate your own teammate, that camaraderie is out the window. And I think he genuinely felt horrible
Well, you would
in that moment. S2G though, Kelsey going down to Ravenclaw. Vampire continuing on their terror-buying reign over here on the games today.
S2G trying to find a little slice of, well, far from heaven, let's put it that way. And it's really not going well. Bigatron eliminated. It looks like S2G going very, very low. Eliminated as well, in fact. Gladiators getting picked apart now. Everybody on the southeast side having a real tough time. That Meku lost standing for Gladiators after sending out a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Alpha 7 staying out of dodge on the southwest still.
Yeah, they've done an excellent read on this circle, honestly. I thought this was such a nice rotation from them, forcing a lot of teams down towards that southeast side. Gladiators have certainly suffered because of it. You know, Meku's just pulling the Kitsune, just live it play right now, which is their slogan a lot of times when they head into these games. They get quite a few placement points just off the back of that, which is strong. Anyway,
Jason's pilfering the sandwiches. No,
you get away from my sandwiches, sir.
I think they were.
Don't
for everyone.
come back.
Hey, hang on a minute. Hey, stay away. Stay away. We're going to zone you out, just like Yokohama is zoning out the
I don't know
southeast
why
side.
that angered me so much.
It really did, didn't it? You really got there.
I was stopped mid-sentence.
You full on
Can you
squirrels.
put them underneath the desk?
No.
They're in sight. It's a problem for me.
Just, oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Put them here.
There we go. I can't see them
Can't
anymore.
see 'em.
Perfect. They're out of sight, out of mind.
What, the sandwiches?
Yes. No, I don't know what I don't know what you're talking about. What I do know what I'm talking about is Vampire right now. Schweppes still holding on to this high ground. 5 eliminations so far is really, really good. Obviously, Ikerd's trying to get a little bit closer. I think Ravenclaw's in one of these positions that is fairly dangerous. But if he can get a cheeky grenade lob and do a little bit of damage to one of these players, figure out their location, he's going to be a real key component of this incoming engagement.
Alpha 7 curtailing phase on the southwest side as well. In the meantime, Stoned absolutely has the range advantage here. And yeah, Ravenclaw's just got to light him up on the side swipe. Ikerd falling like dominoes. Ali last standing now for the roster.
Oh my God, they're so good.
And they call that one the Schweppes sweep.
That is extreme, as Max would put. Very, very well done. Honestly, Ravenclaw has always been such a standout member for that team.
Did FaZe just take down Alpha 7? I think they did. I think FaZe just wiped down Alpha 7 on the southwest side.
There's no way that just happened.
Yeah. We were on board with Vampire cleaning out the north side, and we missed Alpha 7 on the southwest.
That's such an insane... So that must have happened so quickly, John.
Yeah. And
That
they didn't
is
lose a
very
player.
confident. No players lost, just one knock. That is crazy. They're not going to be happy about that. And this is why I wanted to see the full team shebang coming through from Alpha 7, and they just have not shown us it here as of yet. It's just Revo, my favorite player, who's doing well, which I'm happy about. But I think that he would also like the rest of his team to start stepping up a bit.
Needs to be a bit of chopping and changing coming through. D plus Kier losing one more and down to 1 now. 9 teams remain, but 3 of those only have 1 player. And Infinity IQ, they've just been bumped down to 1 as well with a knock sent their way and a very low HP bar, in fact, eliminated fully. They are starting to drop now, so we're down to 7. I only, about 3 seconds ago, said there were 9 teams.
Yeah, it's really, really dropping fast, and this is what we're typically seeing. Most of these matches so far, John, is just from stage 4 to stage 5. We're going right back to the good old days. The Thanos snap of stage 5 is coming in, where we're just losing a lot of players very, very quickly. Meku, again, he's really pulling out the Kitsune Just Live It play, and it's working out very well for him. He's out in the field, could even get a top 5 off the back of this, which will take this lackluster start to their game to the next level, to a luster start to their game.
Yokohama Donuts Varel losing a player to a nade.
You didn't like that?
I didn't get it.
Okay.
Is the issue. Gamers8 putting Ordnance down the hill towards the position that has been held for quite a while by this team, but they'll try and fight their way through and do so fairly successfully. Ozzy-san going down. Tony K actually picking up that point. Nicely found. Blade gets another nade over onto Naoto. And Tony K picks up the point. Oh my goodness me. Vampire just pilfering, plundering the ill-gotten gains from atop the ridge.
The Vampires aren't in the most amazing spot coming into the later part of the game, but the fact that they're still just taking shots so confidently is incredible to see. Yokohama holding on for themselves. Missile, Kazemaru inside the shack. Obviously, as teams get closer, that will become more difficult to hold on to itself. 6 teams remaining. Meku still in there for the Gladiators, which they must be really happy about. The thing is, Alpha 7, look at this. They're actually going to have a worse result now than Gladiators. Really, really well done coming through from FaZe Clan to pull that one out. Now, they're 4 players looking to take control of the circle.
Yeah, FaZe has already struck out towards that middle, and it's going to slow down Gamers8 trying to descend here. Won't be too much of a barrier to getting on in, but Yokohama Donuts will fall. Their goose is cooked for the time being. Falcons yet to leave the safety of the buildings atop the hill, but they'll have to do so now. FaZe have probably one of the better spots here, but Vampire are looking to sweep.
This is an interesting sweep as well. They are so aggressive on it. Schweppes turns the vehicle around, grabs the wheel, spins that one for 6.
Demolition Derby coming through for the Vampire Esports sweep. And that's what you love to see. This is confidence. We were wondering, can they keep this momentum up through the downtime?
That's crazy.
Blank, we've got our answer. It's absolutely yes, they can. Look at this. They've left Ravenclaw on the back angle as well, on that off angle on the north side, looking out towards those fields, trying to keep that pressure that they've had the whole time. It is still a phenomenal positional performance from Vampire. The question is, can they breach where Gamers8 I would say, failed to do fully successfully, get up to that shack and foothold there, leap into the fields.
Yeah, like I said before, this is always going to be quite a difficult rotate for Vampire themselves, but the smokes are down. Use Yems out, a Molotov through the side, just guessing where that Molotov's going to land, and it starts to put Falcon in quite an awkward spot. Stone's in now too. Falcon has oversight, and they're trying to finish off this fight as quickly as possible. Falak's burning, will have to move out, but Ravenclaw goes down to FaZe.
As does Stoned as well from the high ground. There is an answer. Schweppes is still alive, as is Tony. Schweppes has to reposition, will get felled in the meantime. This push is so difficult to make on the outside of the circle. Vampire, no matter what happens, they've had a third excellent game. I feel like our excitement is slightly curbed by the fact they're coming off a back-to-back chicken dinner, but they have 15 eliminations here, Blank.
I want them to get one more elimination and then go out, because then they will maintain the perfect score of... wait, is it?
No.
I think if they go out now, they'll still be on 21,
If they get a chicken dinner with no more eliminations right now, then they'd keep the perfect balance.
No, because it'd be 20. They'd be over 20 at that point. Would be bad. They'd be at 25.
I'm not entirely sure what you're getting at. 15 points for eliminations. They're on 40, so 20 points on placements and eliminations each. If you want to keep it even.
I see. Yes, mate. Yeah, that's what I want. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, so they've got to win right now with no more points.
Okay.
If you want to keep your balance.
Win right now with no more points.
7 eliminations for Tony.
Oh, that's not happening for me then, is it? Yeah, Tony's been... I think he's redeemed himself from last game.
He did pinch away 2 of those points on the hillside.
That's fine. I still think there's redemption there.
Ooh.
6 moves in for Falcons. Teak off in the distance now, maybe looking for a little bit more. And FaZe furious with this approach onto one of their players. Now looks to rebuff them. Meku just living it as per usual. Might be able to get himself a top 3, which will be one hell of a result for Gladiators.
The name of the game is don't die for the longest. That's a bold vault coming through from Mela, but somehow he makes it. Looking for the res as well. That's crazy that he managed to make that, to be honest. I'm very, very surprised.
Yeah, as am I. I don't think I've seen that play, that maneuver, come out very often. An epic maneuver.
Absolutely. And getting that discipline to make that play, it's certainly
slamming his
bold.
palms against quite splintered wood.
Yeah, in the face of gunfire.
Yeah, difficult, I would say.
Yeah.
Vampire, though, 2 players. Certainly possible to pick yourself up a chicken dinner from this position, particularly with the way FaZe is split up right now. It will be very difficult for them as they are outside the circle. They're exploding vehicles, making sure they don't get taken out as they cross. Again, Meku still in the circle. They have smokes available to them, does Tony K. They did get a massive resupply on this shack. But yeah, moving over towards FaZe with 2 players playing backstop, as well as 2 players in the front. It's going to be hard for Vampires to get this triple, to get that turkey.
Most likely they are going to be looking towards Meku's position as well, right? That is a shack that is in the next zone. Schwepp has already moved out a little bit. Meku will have the info that there's a player rotating around behind him, but he can't really do anything about it. He has got 2 nades.
You say that?
That could be good. The vehicle's smoking. If it goes up, then it could be dangerous for Tony K. But they fall a little bit short of the mark. Shut down on the hillside. Falcons fall. The Gladiators are out as well. Tony managed to get that nade in. Well placed. And now Vampire with 2 can take the north side. Second place guaranteed. Blank, they've got 17 eliminations, so they will be out of balance. But how much further can they go on placements?
This is the Tony redemption, this game. It's good to see. Tony K with a great nade over the top. Schweppes has to not go down here. That would be the worst thing possible. But Tony K slips out, finds one, goes for another. Torres is down. It's a 2 versus 2.
Schwepp is still alive behind the hay bales. They start to roll out through the smoke. Mormon doesn't spot it. He doesn't see the player breaking out. Tony moves in. They've isolated the fight with the smoke on the field. Tony rolls straight on through, baits the shots, but gets sprayed down. And FaZe might have been able to wrest this one back into control. Alpha 7 were first on the menu for FaZe, and now they're turning their attention to tournament top of tables. Vampires, returning champions of the PMWI, and FaZe plays spoiler. Yet again, a huge game for FaZe Clan as they pick it up in the 3rd match.
Tony K, though, put an absolute shot that game. He was selling all sorts, but mainly eliminations. Goodness me, that looked like it could have gone topsy-turvy at the end there for FaZe Clan. That could have been a fail instead of a win. But again, they deserve that off the back of the Alpha 7 elimination, the sweep on that side. But I think the Vampires can be very, very happy with that performance, John, considering they come up off a first, and then a second, which really could have been a first if Tony K took it to the next level, which I would say he already did. He was going to the boss level.
Well, here's the thing. They got huge elimination numbers on that game.
Yeah.
So in terms of points, they did win.
Yeah, exactly. They got a chicken dinner in terms of elimination points alone, John.
It is absolutely nuts. They beat out FaZe Clan in terms of points overall on that game. It is crazy what Vampire is able to do, but absolute credit to FaZe Clan. They stood up where it mattered. Yeah. They took fights against some of the toughest teams in the lobby, and they're able to take it home.
Absolutely. And I think the main thing that we can take away from this one is that Alpha 7 have looked a little bit difficult to deal with, but we've never seen them in a 4v4, and FaZe just told everyone in the lobby that they can bleed.
We'll have to see what more Alpha 7 can get done this tournament, because right now they are underperforming compared to expectations. This is not the Alpha 7 that we expected, but FaZe, they're exceeding expectations, certainly in this game. A chicken dinner coming through for FaZe Clan in match number 3.